Hello and welcome to a bonus draft edition of the UK Steelers Podcast. You joined as always by me, Sam Stanley, and I am joined by my esteemed hardcore co-host here at, what time is it, 20 to 1 in the morning, Tuesday the 26th of April, Ketts and Gavin Marshall. How you doing, guys?
Not bad. Getting ready for our draft night body clock. Getting warmed up.
Yeah. You got to live this way to stay up for the entire first round. I don't want to hear any. If I get a message like after pick 20 saying you two are going to bed on Thursday night, I'm going to be upset. I've seen that move before.
Fall asleep. That's the classic.
That's poor. But anyway, we are here now to do our 7-round Steelers mock draft. We're doing this. You might be listening to the audio on the podcast feed. You could be listening or watching on YouTube, where you will see that we have up the 2022 PFF mock draft simulator. We're just going to control the sorry, go on, Gav.
I was going to say, going with PFF this year. I think we did Draft Network last year. Is there a reason it's changed?
So I played around with a few different ones this year. I think mock draft simulator is not customizable, so you have to. Well, you can choose between either their predictive board or their PFN board.
Yeah.
And the problem is that those are the only two options. And I find that when you let the mock draft just go too often, it just comes out with like ridiculous picks, like people falling that will never fall to us, and etc. So
what we're saying here is that the PFF board is truth.
No, what I'm saying is the PFF board, as you'll see if you're looking at the screen, view the mouse, lets you adjust these sliders a little bit. So I played around with these a bit. If I just move this straight off the PFF board to the public consensus board, and then change the way that other teams draft so that they draft more for needs as teams do, you introduce a little bit more randomness than the default, and you leave the positional value as it is. I think that generally has given me the best results, but we'll do it now, and who knows who'll fall to us, like Aiden Hutchinson probably, but
okay,
we'll see how it goes. We have a mulligan.
You've done your research, and I can respect that. Okay, so the only other thing we need to hit on is how we draft. We're not drafting here for what we think the Steelers are going to do, right? This is us.
Yeah,
right?
This is us. Yeah,
this is us.
This is not me. I think the Steelers will do this.
Yeah, it's not visits and pro days and do they fit certain metrics. This is us. What we do. It's our fun, our universe. So come on board and join us.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And the one thing I will say about the PFF board is when you guys watch on YouTube will see the drop down of available players is based on the PFF consensus. So bear that in mind, because sometimes guys that you think, well, that's a first round guy, might be quite far down. So if you're thinking about a guy, let me know. I can also search by position, which is a bit easier to see than the top guys at each position. So we'll do that as we go. Right, without further ado, are we ready to go and set this in motion? We aren't till pick 20 anyway.
Let's go.
Will you stop talking?
Let's hit it.
Okay, that's enough. Enter draft. And start draft. Oh, okay. Who will it be? The Jags. Kayvon
Thibodeau. Oh, come on. That's nonsense. Restart it.
No, the thing is, I don't mind a bit of ridiculousness at the top because we aren't in this mock for other teams. We're in for the Steelers. So
Trayvon Walker goes to the Jets. That feels realistic. I'm going to get serious neck crook. I can tell. I need to adjust my seating position here.
If you are watching on YouTube, you can see all the picks as PFF chooses them for us. Kyle Hamilton goes to the Jets at 10, but we won't spell them all out on the podcast feed because that'll just turn into a
there you go.
That's good.
Malik Willis goes to the Commanders. We've been saved of that.
We don't have to have that discussion. I will say, I wanted to bring this up as we talk about what we think the Steelers will do as we go along. I'm starting to lock into the fact that the Steelers will draft a quarterback in the first round.
I don't think they're locked into anything. I think they'll go with the flow.
I hope not.
Like water around a rock, they'll adjust accordingly.
Yeah, obviously it depends. If guys don't fall, they don't fall. Okay, so we're at the Steelers pick. Just before us has gone Chris Olave to the Saints, Trevor Penning to the Eagles, John Davis fell to 17 to the Chargers.
Andrew Booth gone to the Saints.
Jr., your guy.
That's been my guy that I've been doing in mocks recently.
Yep.
So that's tricky.
Now,
okay, so who we got on the board then?
So this is interesting because I do think pick 20 is a really interesting spot to be in the first round because I think it's literally the over-under of where I think the elite talent falls off. Or at least the guys that I have like kind of first round grades on start to stop at pick 20. But if you see quarterbacks go before us, like we have done here, which is it just one quarterback has gone?
Yes,
Malik Willis. The more quarterbacks go before us, one or two, you start to see one or two elite defensive talents drop, which is what I'm kind of hoping for. So on the board, the top guys according to PFF, for the listeners amongst us, George Karlaftis, the edge out of Purdue, Devin Lloyd, linebacker out of Utah, Tyler Linderbaum, remember when he was never going to make it to us? Center out of Iowa, Devontae Wyatt, Bernard Ryman, the tackle.
This is almost like your nightmare scenario for any kind of Steelers mock drafter, because there's no obvious pick here, right?
Yeah, so this is where you start to, you could start to look deep. I think they do by position a little bit if you want. So obviously we're in need of a receiver potentially, right? Who's on the board? Sky Moore, George Pickens, Treylon Burks.
I mean, Christian Watson's the guy that interests me, but
Christian Watson will be there.
Yeah, he's there. But I mean, I mean, we've got to sort of slightly respect the visits from round one. I think he's not been a guy that the Steelers have paid any interest in terms of wide receivers. They've been more interested in Pickens, right? I imagine he's there, isn't he?
Yeah. I do not like Pickens in round one at all, though.
So, I mean, the names that are jumping off the list to me are Devin Lloyd, the linebacker, Tyler Linderbaum, the center, and Devontae Wyatt on the D-line. Raymond at the tackle feels a little bit rich for me.
Yeah.
Linderbaum feels rich, but it feels like he could be a top 10 talent, and just its positional value and its, certain reasons why he's fallen, like his undersizedness. But I mean, it's hard for me not to say Linderbaum here. I mean, someone talked me off that ledge.
I would say that we don't need interior offensive line at the moment, just given what we did in free agency. I think that would be throwing away a first-round draft pick that we could use in another area.
Sure, but you've got Cole Mason, who's untested at the position. I think he's, in terms of free agents, he's not the highest one. I think yes, fine. He's an upgrade over Kendrick Green, but I still think you can improve on the position. I'd love to have a guy with Tyler Linderbaum's upside behind him coming through. But I understand your point. It's not but on the other hand, the Steelers do like to build from inside out. I see Desmond Ridder's there. Is anyone going to bang the table for him? I'm sure there's some people out there screaming that.
I was going to say, are we going to have a conversation about the quarterbacks here? Because Kenny Pickett's still on the board. There was talk that would never happen. Desmond Ridder, of course, as well. I don't like taking Ridder in the first.
I just don't like Ridder at all. Generally, I don't like the accuracy. Pickett, I don't know. I mean, I look back the other day. We're all consensus in on Pickett. We all liked him.
I do like Pickett, but doesn't it say a lot that I'm not banging the table to draft him at 20? When even in this position, it's funny. I think if the board fell like this, I might be more willing to accept Pickett.
I think we can go another position in the first round, and I think we'll still get a reasonable choice of quarterback in the second if we do insist on taking the quarterback.
Potentially.
This is tough. What about Devontae Wyatt? We've not really talked about him. I mean, we know the status. Stephon Tuitt, is he back? Is he not? The name escapes me of the other guy, the Jags.
John Davis. Oh, sorry, what are you talking about?
Our guy, our nose tackle that we've really liked.
Travis Jones?
No, our guy that's on the Steelers was a first round pick for the Jags and was injured last year. Hello, thanks.
I'm so confused about what you're talking about.
Sorry. So his status is up in the air, and as is Stephon Tuitt. Is this not a position of kind of strength that we want to draft into? Devontae Wyatt is, in other, if it wasn't for the freakishness of Jordan Davis, this guy would be the top D-line prospect. Well, between him or Travis Jones, I think Wyatt's slightly ahead. Is this not a kind of guy that we could, it's easier to project a guy that plays closer to the ball than some of these like wide receivers or cornerbacks or whatever? Is this not a guy we should be considering here?
I think he would certainly be in the consideration. You see his average draft position is trending around sort of early 20s. I don't remember being that high on him, at the time. I remember thinking, like, this is a little bit rich to go in the first round. I know the athleticism was there. Maybe I was just thrown off a bit by John Davis. I don't
pull up our draft analysis. Dave was out, and you and me were inside, and it was only the three of us. Ketts, you were skiing at this point, I think.
I was, yeah.
Yeah. So
it's certainly an option. I'd be a little bit underwhelmed, I think, but I wouldn't be crying about it. And in this situation where I'd probably be a little bit more tempted to go Devin Lloyd, to be honest. I know the positional value is not there. And also, and we haven't spoke about it because edge isn't a need. George Karlaftis is too good a player to be at 20, I think.
He's a great player, and again, he was consensus in, and that was 5 of us picked Karlaftis in.
But the question is where, it's a tough one really, because how do you get him on the field?
But who cares? Like this is not need based, right? It's just best player available. Well, maybe he is the best player available.
Yeah, I mean, I think he is the best player available, but there's, you can stop a guy's development if where's he going to play? Are we going to stop Highsmith's development?
I'd say that's the role, right? He would be direct competition for Highsmith. He's not going to push TJ Watt. He's more of a kind of seal the edge, physical run defender, and with some pass rush chops as well. But man, you'd love to have those 3 guys. There's nothing to say you can't get them all snaps. I mean, Kevin Colbert's played an absolute blinder and filled all the needs.
Yeah, true.
Quarterback to a lesser degree, but it's still, they've got a viable guy there. I think you could just take a guy at a valuable position that's perhaps fallen here. I don't know. Maybe Karlaftis is the guy. Jeez, we just haven't got a clue here, have we?
What
it's
do you
just
think
such a
about
tough one.
Brisker as a safety?
No, I'm down on that, man. I don't think
I
he
like
should
it,
be
but
at
I don't
20.
think Gav does.
I'm not.
Okay.
I like the guy, but I'm not at 20. I don't think.
Well, let's just throw a couple of these kind of outside the box ones that may be a little bit lower down on PFF's. But Jahan Dotson, obviously wide receiver, he's been going in first rounds from mocks. My Red Star, I'm a big fan of him.
I'd take Watson, but that's because Watson's my Red Star.
I get that. Yeah. Treylon Burks, I wasn't a big fan of, but obviously he's been mocked heavily in the first. Quay Walker, definite first round pick, as everyone who listened to yesterday's show knows. Obviously we got the interior guys, Kenyon Green, Nick Bonito is another edge that we all like. Daxton Hill is a guy who, I would be tempted. And then for me, Leo Chanel. I'd take him in the first round. I know people don't necessarily agree with that, but I would.
I mean, he's my Red Star linebacker, but I can't take him in the first round. If
you're not taking him on Devin Lloyd, though.
Yeah, if you're passing on Devin Lloyd, you can't take Leo Chanel.
Yeah.
I just think Linderbaum, man. I literally the first time we ever spoke about the draft, I said they've got to pick Tyler Linderbaum. Here he is. I've got to respect
but
February.
Then why did we just spend all this money on Mason Cole?
Who cares about Mason Cole? He's untested. Like Linderbaum's, potentially a generational talent. And yes, all right, I don't care. People saying he's undersized. Like, but who cares? We can. He's the kind of player where you can change your scheme to suit him. Like you can put him into motion, you can put him on screens, you can make him pull and trap and do all that stuff. Interesting player. I think Linderbaum's the guy personally. If it was me drafting by myself, Linderbaum. But hang on, where are we on? He's my Red Star. Let's see where we are.
He's my Red Star too. I just don't know that the need is there.
Cy, Mike, and Gavin are all in on Tyler Linderbaum. That's all of our Red Stars. Ketts is out.
Ketts.
It just doesn't excite me. I can kind of see why people are raving about him, but just looking at that board, admittedly, there's not a lot else on there that excites me. But just drafting a centre, even if he is PFF's best ever centre prospect, we've got enough at centre. We re-signed Hassenauer. We've got Mason Cole.
Not filling with, this has been a position of where they've gone from Hall of Famer to Hall of Famer to Hall of Famer, right? And Webster, Dawson, and Pouncey, right?
Yeah.
This could be the next guy. This could be the 4th Hall of Fame centre.
I know you said you don't care about this, but his size concerns me a little bit. Not concerns me in his play. I'm sure he'll do fine, but fitting into what we want to do, is that, it's a bit of a strange fit, you don't think?
Yeah, I think you can just mould that around him. I mean, centre's not a position where size is massively important like it is at tackle.
I think if I had to list it where I am right now, and avoiding the ones that you won't let me pick,
Good point.
I would
just before you do that, just a counterpoint. If they were much more needy last year at centre than they are at this year, right?
Yeah.
And Creed Humphrey was on the board. We love Creed Humphrey. He was, if you're talking about a guy that's the perfect size and has all the tape of being like a stonewall centre, Creed Humphrey was that guy, and they didn't go that way. Whereas the guy they've drafted most recently before Kendrick Green was Pouncey, and you could say he was undersized. So I think this undersized thing's a red herring. I think the Steelers don't care about size metrics in terms of that. I think they like other skills. So sorry. Anyway, carry on.
Are we overthinking this? Should we just take Pickett? If we don't love a dude,
to be honest, I wouldn't disagree with that at this point in time. Looking at there's no one else that I'm kind of banging the table for in terms of upside. Does Pickett have the biggest kind of potential ceiling of?
I mean, let's look at the guys that have just recently gone, right? If Chris Olave was on the board, I'd probably take him over Pickett. John Davis, definitely. Andrew Booth Jr., yeah, probably. Drake London, 100%.
No, I'm taking.
If these guys fell, I'm
taking Devontae Wyatt and Tyler Linderbaum over Pickett. Okay. Yeah, sorry, and Devin Lloyd and Nakobe Dean. We've not really talked about Nakobe Dean. I mean, you don't like Dean.
That's why.
I do.
The bad news is, boys, we're not able to pick anybody because we've probably been longer than 10 minutes already.
Oh no, the Patriots have jumped us.
We didn't put the facts in. Okay, do we need to restart and rerun them up?
We're good. Let's make a decision. I think this is the tough situation that the team could reasonably be in.
Okay, let's put our hats into the ring. So let's say who we should pick. Ketts, who are you saying we should pick? Or shall I go first? I don't mind.
I'm okay with Pickett. I'm not excited about Linderbaum specifically. I'd say no on Karlaftis at this point because of the edge room that we've already got. Linebacker, we kind of need to see what happens with the moves we've made there already. I don't know about taking a wide receiver in the first unless there's like a absolute kind of ridiculously good player, and I think there's a consensus of good players, but there's not any kind of amazing players like there was last year. What else have we got a bit further down, Si?
So I said put your hat in the ring, and you've just listed everyone.
Zion Johnson's a guy we've not spoke about.
Yeah, Zion Johnson's.
Yeah, I like Zion Johnson.
Tyler Smith, the tackle out of Tulsa that a lot of people are high on.
Well, we're high on him, but I still don't think we could take him at 20. I think at this point, when you're looking at these different prospects, you're going to go close to the ball as possible because that's the most level of security.
Could Daxton Hill play a bit of
Yes,
corner?
I like Daxton Hill a lot, but I just think when there's Devontae Wyatt and Tyler Linderbaum and George Karlaftis, you're going to go that way rather than a nickel corner.
If we can have him play corner, I mean that's a need. Yeah, I hear you though. If I had to, I'd probably go either Karlaftis or Lloyd. I wouldn't say no to Wyatt or Linderbaum if we pushed it.
I'm going to go Linderbaum 1, Wyatt 2, Karlaftis 3, Lloyd 4.
Okay.
Dean or Lloyd, depending on which way you want. And then Christian Watson, then Jahan Dotson. All right, that's the order I'm in. So I'll put my cards on the table.
Ketts?
I could get behind Dean because he's my red star.
Yeah, I'm going to veto Dean. It ain't happening. I won't click the button.
It's just not happening.
I'm Kevin Colbert and I won't do it.
I could get behind Lloyd.
I could do Lloyd.
I'd
be a little bit unexcited about taking a linebacker in the first, though. I think I'd probably rather take Wyatt.
I think I would. I think I'd rather take Wyatt. Oh, I definitely would. I'd rather take Wyatt. I want to take Linderbaum here, but it seems like you two don't want to. So I could settle for Wyatt. I think that's a safe, solid pick. Feels like a kind of Steelers-y thing.
I'd also take Linderbaum, but I don't think Ketts wants to. So I'm respecting that.
I'm happy to go with the consensus on Wyatt. I've not watched him specifically, but I trust you guys' opinion.
Okay. Wyatt, should we lock it in? Nobody lower down?
It feels like Wyatt's the safest pick here.
God, it feels like we're going very safe though, doesn't it? Jeez. Hate it.
High floor.
All right. I'm hitting it.
You deserve me not to forget your name.
We've just drafted.
There's just doubt over that position, isn't there? As to
there is. We don't know what's happening with Tuitt, and Devin Lloyd goes straight away. Nakobe Dean goes straight after to the Packers, and George Karlaftis goes straight after to the Cards, who I'm sure are all thanking the lucky stars.
Tyler Linderbaum, no, there he's gone to the Bills.
Linderbaum goes to the Bills.
He's going to have a Hall of Fame career. You wait for it.
Just Kair
Elam was a guy I did not like. I know I wasn't on the cornerback show, but I was not a big fan of him. Daxon Hill does go to the Daxon Hill goes to the Chiefs. I might regret that, dude. I think Daxon Hill would have been a pick there. And Tyler Smith sneaks into the first round to Detroit.
Ooh, number 32.
I'm going to speed this up a little bit because we're not until
David Ajabo. What a shame his stocks got tanked. He could have been a pick.
I love Ajabo.
But for him to go 33 to the Jags is still pretty high.
Desmond Ridder to the Texans.
Oh,
do not
Christian
like
Watson to the Bears.
Matt
Corral to the Seahawks.
A Desmond Ridder battle with Davis Mills. That's like completely uninspiring.
Kenny Pickett to the Baltimore Ravens. What? Whoa!
I thought this was realistic, Si. What's going on?
The Ravens are ready to move on from Lamar Jackson. You heard it here first. They're going to just use him as a running back, maybe. Okay, we're on the board. Okay, so who's just gone? Logan Hall.
Oh, look! I know who I'm picking. Wow, look at that! That is.
I know who I'm.
A top 4 selection of.
That's the.
So who we got here?
Let's just explain it for the audio listeners, right? So, Logan Hall's just gone. Quay Walker's just gone. He's going to go in the first round. We all know. Jalen Petrie, Drake Jackson, Roger McCreary. Okay. Available on the board.
Breece
QB
Hall.
Sam Howell. Yeah, Breece Hall to the Vikes, which is also a weird pick. Sam Howell is the top-ranked player according to PFF available, followed by my boy Leo Chanel and Gav's boy.
And my boy, yeah, Red Star.
And Gav's boy.
Red Star all around.
Nick Benito, favorite
Also
speed
my
rusher.
guy.
Yeah, and then Jaquan Brisker, who we consider in the first round, Ketts.
Yeah.
So this to me is why I think the second round pick is so important, because there's such good talent that maybe a lot of teams don't view. I mean, because even when we look around, who else is available? I know you don't like him there, but Troy Anderson, linebacker, Nick Cross, the safety out of Maryland, who a lot of us like, Chad Muma, the linebacker.
Trey McBride's quality as well. We don't necessarily need a tight end, but he's quality.
Yeah, solid tight end, the best.
Carson Strong, of course, is still on the board. That's worth bearing in mind, Gav. I know you've got thoughts on him.
I'm all right.
If we look at wide receivers, I know people are focused on coming out of this draft with a wide receiver. John Mechie III is still there. Jalen Tolbert, Cal Phillips.
Alec Pierce is
Alec
a good
Pierce
guy. I
is
feel like
definitely
he could come back
if
on
he falls
Pierce.
in the third.
Yeah, I feel like Alec Pierce in the
Pierce
third
goes
would be
in the second. But also, I think the thing with Alec Pierce is we've now got Claypool and Miles Boykin on this team. How many big contested catch dudes? There's too many big contested catch dudes.
But Pierce is a do-it-all guy that can do some stuff underneath as well. He's got that explosive burst. Anyway, talking about these.
To sum this up,
here,
though, I know you're a big fan of Sam Howell.
I am.
Cannot get on board with that dude. I do not see what you see in him, but I'll let you talk.
Well, for me, if it was me picking here, I'd pick Sam Howell in a flash. I think that the value here in the second round for a guy that could be a franchise QB is hard to pass up. But you're going to tell me you don't like him, so
what were your thoughts on Howell, Kes?
He gets himself sacked too much.
Yeah, you were big on his
himself in
escapability,
dangerous
weren't you?
He just doesn't understand pressure and where it's coming from.
You see, I would counter that by saying I think he's got the best field vision and the best accuracy in this whole class. I just think he's more developed as a QB brain beyond all these other guys. But
yeah, he did a lot of sort of analysis and tape work, and he just seems to understand the game. But he'd be one of them where if he was on the sidelines telling you what play to play, it'd be brilliant. But I just think when he's in the field, he's too busy reading the field to know where pressure's coming from.
It does need to speed things up.
You can't throw a pass unless you're Patrick Mahomes when you're sideways, kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm not sure. He does need to speed up his whole operation, but the mental side is there, the arms there, the accuracy there, the anticipation's there, the running ability is there. I think there's a lot to like about Sam Howell, and if it was me, I'd be taking him. But I can move on. I can take another guy here. If that's I'm really high on Leo Chanel, really high on Nick Benito.
I like those two.
I just feel like the positional value of a guy like that versus a quarterback, where it's not a first round guy. I feel like the value is to take a quarterback here. But
yeah,
but you could say that about every pick. Like, I don't know. It's just a case of what you think of Sam Howell, right? I don't see it, so I'm never going to be.
What was our ins and outs on Sam Howell overall?
Give me a second. I can tell you. I red starred him, so therefore was in. Si was out. Rich was in. Ketts was out. Mike was out. But he doesn't make the golden rules. the Bill Parcells.
And it's worth pointing out that in this draft now, the only QBs left available, Sam Howell, Carsten Strong, Bailey Zappi, Brock Purdy. That's it, realistically. So if you do want a quarterback, time's running out. I think in this situation, you don't get Malik Willis, which the Steelers obviously want to do. You chose not to draft Kenny Pickett for whatever reason. I think you play for next year with Mitch Trubisky. You stock up on defense and you run it back and consider your future next year, whether that be through trade or draft or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, in which case I'd go Chanel or Benito.
Who else is on the board here? Scroll down a bit. Nick Cross, but it feels a little early. Luke Goddard is a nice tackle. Chad Moomer at linebacker. See, interesting. They've got Chanel above Moomer, which I agree with, but a lot of people would have Moomer above Chanel because he gets slept on a little bit.
I liked a little bit of what I saw out of Cam Taylor-Britt. I know cornerback is a bit of a need. Anyway, you guys talked about him right in the episode the other day?
A little bit, not as much as we should have done. He was kind of left out, but yeah, physical dude. I'm not sure. It feels like a kind of classic Steelers corner that could possibly bust out. I'm not sure about that guy. What other corners? Can you just go to corner? Actually, it's good. Just go to that position group.
What if I could find it? There we go.
There it is.
I must say, I think cornerback. Cornerback is one of these positions that just disappears real quick.
Drops off fast.
Yeah.
Especially if you want an outside guy.
And I think sneaky receiver is like that as well. I think once you get past the Steelers pick in the second round, you start to really run out of impact wide receivers as well. So.
What about running back here? I know it's too high for running back. But let's just see. Is everyone on the board still apart from Breece Hall? Is Kenneth Walker still there? Is he gone? It's been raided a little bit. Okay.
Raided a little bit. Yeah, no one of value there, I wouldn't say.
No, I wouldn't want to take a running back here anyway.
Like I say, I'd be banging the table here for that. And if we're, Ketts, I'll be at your house, right, for this second round pick. Watch out for any valuables if Leo Chanel's on the board at pick, whatever it is. 20,
I can get on board with Leo Chanel. I definitely can. He's a red star. You're my red star. I'd prefer the value of Sam Howell, but
I've had visions of it, Gav. Dreams.
Okay.
I won't ask for anything else. This is the only present I want under my tree this year.
Ketts, will you rain on Simon's parade here?
I'm happy with Chanel at this point.
Okay.
I'm nailing it in. I was going to pick him in the first round. I've taken him. So Leo Chanel, linebacker out of Wisconsin, joins his icon, his idol, TJ Watt, on the Steelers defense. Sam Howell goes straight away to the Green Bay Packers, who can't stop drafting quarterbacks.
Are you sure this is what's going on here?
Well,
the quarterback selections are a bit odd.
What I like is that the right kind of players seem to fall to the right positions. I don't worry too much about other teams is kind of what they pick, but
okay.
How sneaky good at Tampa in this draft, by the way. They got Brisker in the second, and I think they had somebody good in the first.
Did they get in the first? Can you agree?
I don't like passing on Sam Howell in the second round. I gotta say I'm a bit uncomfortable with that.
Don't worry, you'll be all right. Once he fizzles out.
He won't fizzle out.
If you want Sam Howell, why don't you just go sign Baker Mayfield? Jeez.
Okay. Fine.
Just
because he looks like him doesn't mean
my sleeper corner, Martin Emerson, goes to the
just gone.
Ravens. Alec Pierce has just gone, and that's a killer because at pick 84, you'd be all over Alec Pierce.
The pick before the Steelers, that's brutal.
Yeah, that is brutal. And then you look at what's left at wide receiver. What's the drop-off from Alec Pierce to Kyle Phillips? I mean, I like Kyle Phillips, actually, as like a possession receiver across the middle, but...
Khalil Shakir could be a guy there.
Romeo Dubes has grown on me a little bit. Dubes.
I'm out of him. I'm not sure.
Just looking at the top of the class, though, Carson Strong is still sat there if you're interested on a flyer, Gav.
Yeah, I wouldn't hate it.
In the third round is where I would be like, hey,
Cameron Thomas on edge.
Let's see.
That's the
Cameron
guy.
Thomas.
Cameron Thomas. That's the guy.
Cameron Thomas.
Yeah, he's the guy. That's a red star edge for me.
Cameron Thomas. Did I watch Cameron Thomas? Let me go back to my... Have you got notes down there, Gav?
I've got him. You did not watch him.
Oh, strange.
Neither did Ketts.
Just heard on my list, yeah.
Me and Mike.
Damn, I need to go back and
San Diego State.
Because I have heard quite a bit about him actually in the recent weeks.
Yeah, but again, he's that kind of Alex Highsmith guy. Like
That's
seal
always
the
going to be
edge,
trouble
play the
when we
run.
drafting edge, right? But who's edge 3 for us right now?
I think it's a need. I do think it's a bit of a need.
And when you get into round 3 is when you can start to reasonably say, well, you're not necessarily competing for this spot right now. Obviously you are, but
Was that Lieutenant Strange down there?
yeah, Cole Strange, my sleeper guard.
Nice.
I don't mind Max Mitchell, but I'm probably a bit rich in the 3rd round. Sean Ryan I liked a lot as well as an interior guy.
Let's have a look at tackles.
Tackles.
Pure tackles.
With Sean Ryan, you play him at tackle. If he doesn't make it a tackle, you put him inside at guard, and he'll play there all career.
Jamari Sailor, I was hard out on. Did not like his tape at all. Kellen Deesh is a little bit of too much of a light kind of agile guy. Yeah, don't love his.
Max Mitchell's undersized for good tackle play. All right, let's have a look at wide receiver. Let's see what's there.
A wide receiver is the Cal Phillips, really, and then.
Did we look at that? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry, you did look at that. Let's look at running back then. We definitely, I do think they need to come out with a running back here.
David Pierce is still there. James Cook is where I would,
Yeah. See, I'm big on Rashad White. I'd rather come back next round. Rashad White.
Brian Robinson, I like, but I wasn't a big fan of everyone else. I've got to be honest. I would not hate taking a punt on Carson Strong here. I mean, you've got to question our cornerback position, I think. But again, we're struggling there. You talked a bit about Armour Davis, didn't you, Gav? You weren't super
yeah, sort of medium in or out. Not. Did I actually put in or out? Let me see.
Did you guys talk about Damari Mathis? I know he's been a bit of a sleeper for a lot of people.
Not massively.
No, I don't think we got onto him properly.
No. Armour Davis consensus out, so we can't go with him.
I did like Cordell Flott in the slot, but
Flott in the slot.
I like Tariq Castro Fields as well as a sleeper, actually. Anyway.
I think for me, it's between Carson Strong and Cameron Thomas. And I'm tempted to go Cameron Thomas.
I got no issues thinking Cameron Thomas. I haven't watched him, but I've heard great things. I'm going to go back to it. He's now top of my list because I totally forgot about him, I think, even during that Edge episode, and they never got back to it. So I got no problem with it if he was your Red Star Edge and he's there in the 3rd round.
Ketts?
I'm happy to go with anyone but Carson Strong at this point.
Oh, anyone but Carson Strong. Talk to me. Why? What's your problem?
It's just he's a one-trick pony and he's not very good at that trick.
Dude, he's got a cannon for an arm.
Which trick is that?
Yeah, but he's got a cannon for an arm, but it's not accurate. It's frustrating.
It's more accurate than Ridder, and people seem to be high on Ridder.
Yeah, but Strong was like my 8th or 9th QB. If you're going to draft Carson Strong, I'd sooner have Brock Purdy.
Oh, yes, now you're talking. All right, all right.
Oh, God. Destined to wind up with Brock Purdy in this draft, aren't we? Okay, I'm happy to go with Cameron Thomas.
All right.
Going heavy on defense.
Yeah, let's recap. What have we taken so far?
I can't wait for the comments on this already.
Oh, I know. People are going to hate it. Hey, we played the board. What have we taken so far? We took Leo Chanel in the 2nd, and in the 1st, we took Devontae Wyatt. So we've taken the linebacker,
all defense.
We've taken the D line, and we've taken the edge. So I don't hate this idea. I actually think that this draft is really heavy on defensive talent.
I think we've got to go offense next pick.
Yeah,
we have to. We can't do a Carolina Panthers and take 7 defensive picks.
Oh, James Cook goes to the Ravens at 100. You hate to see that. Carson Strong to the Rams.
Bagging the table for Rashad White here.
Oh, Cordell Flott goes.
We've got to get a skill player. We need to get a skill player here.
What was that? McCullum's gone.
Jelani Woods goes to the Jets. I like him as a developmental tight end. Darian Beavers, there you go, Gav.
There you go.
To the Washington Commanders.
Yeah, you were in on Woods. I was just double checking. I was out.
Damari Mathis from Pitt goes to the Browns. Hate to see that. Romeo Dubes to the Saints. When's our next pick?
I thought
138.
Justin Ross just goes.
Oh, yes, Ketts with the numbers as ever.
I don't like that Justin Ross pick there.
No, I don't like Justin Ross. I'm out on Justin Ross big time.
There's talk that he was.
Rashad White's gone to the Ravens. Oh man.
Charlie Kolar, your
no.
tight end. We weren't going to take him anyway.
I'd have banged the table for Charlie Cola.
What was I going to say? Justin Ross, yeah, he's in Alex Kazora's final mock draft for the Steelers. Jojo Dolan.
Yeah, they've been big on him over at the depot, right? Can't see it myself.
I like Kyle Phillips here. If he falls to the 4th round as a possession
Kyle
receiver
Phillips.
across the middle, I like that.
Not sure.
No, you don't like Kyle Phillips?
Just not blown away.
Was he the guy that was? Yeah. I likened him to a bit of the 3rd and Phillips, a bit of the Renfrew action. Bailey Zappi still there? You want a quarterback, Gav?
No, don't want Zappy.
No Zappy.
No zip from Zappy.
Kelvin Austin Jr. Now, hear me out. I know that the. Oh wait, no, sorry, this isn't who I thought it was. Ignore me.
You're thinking of
That's
Calvin
Kevin.
Austin.
Yeah, I'm thinking of Calvin Austin. That's Kevin Austin.
Let's look at wide receivers straight up, because I think we're getting to the point now where we can kind of ignore the board and just go with players we like. I don't know any of these players. Okay, keep going down.
That's what I mean about wide receiver. It really falls off a cliff.
Yikes. Geez, there's no one here I want. Keep going down. Sorry, just have a look. Just see if there's people like Bo Melton, maybe.
My sleeper in this will be all the way down at Jarrett Stearns.
Where's Trey Turner?
Going to be on there yet.
Okay. I'm not trusting any of these guys with this pick. We've blown it at wide receiver.
I like Kyle Phillips. I'd consider him here, but you don't seem to.
Well,
okay.
We've got a tight end depth.
Tight end depth? You want a 3rd tight end here? Jeez.
Well, who's the second tight end?
Looking at offensive options.
You're talking about the pink wafer.
Yeah, the pink wafer. How dare you call him the pink wafer?
Jake Ferguson, but it's too early to take him. What about running back? We need some skill here. We need to get the fantasy community excited with this draft.
Algiers, not too bad.
Not too bad.
Brian Robinson, booming back to come in for Harris when he wants a break.
Yeah, you could take him.
Kyron Williams, I didn't mind as well.
Yeah, I was a Condre White. Who's left on the board, though? I meant a running back, sorry.
Oh.
Ooh, Damone Clark's there. I'll take Damone Clark in the 4th round. I can't see the sensible pick is to take Damone Clark, I think. But we can't take 4 defensive players. That's just ridiculous. What about tackle? What about Dice? Hang on, where were we on Dice? Hang on. We definitely talked about him.
Yeah.
I was out and Ketts was out, so no, we can't take him.
What about other tackles? Anyone of any note left?
I don't remember a lot of these dudes as we get further down in the tackles.
Yeah, this is where we're getting beyond our... What about... Oh, no,
Cade Mays we spoke about, but that's probably further down.
Dave Rosenthal.
Yeah, this is later, isn't it? None of these guys are really jumping off the
Yeah. Once you get to the 4th round, it does become a bit of a tough one. There's a lack of value there when you start to get to the 4th round.
I could take Carl Phillips if that's where you want to go. I mean, they do need a slot dude.
Yeah, and we're just kind of out on defensive talent at this point where, and then
I mean, JT Woods is a big guy, but again, I don't is how far we just can't take another defender. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I love JT Woods' tape though. The playmaking is real.
So JT Woods or Wolf.
Or Damone Clark is the other guy, but again, just defensive.
Yeah, I would lean Carl Phillips here. I got to be honest.
All right, let's take Phillips. All right, I can get on board with it.
Can you get on board with that, Ketts?
Yeah, happy with that.
Okay, we've hit it, and I'm going to stop now. I feel like I'm pushing too much of my narrative onto this draft.
There's been some tough picks here. There's not been. Usually, I'm jumping at the bit to draft a guy, whereas this draft I've been kind of like, I don't know. It's tough.
I'm going to speed this up because we don't have a 5th round pick. So
yeah, put it on max. Let's just burn through here. Okay, I think we should just start ignoring the board now and just going with whoever we like when we get into the 6th round.
Yeah.
So what do we feel, what position of need do we have, like, or like where we feel we want to draft? I mean, like, linebacker would be a good shout. Oh no, we took Chanel.
We took Chanel.
Ignore that. So running back's definitely a position they need.
Can we check if Brock Purdy's there first of all?
He will be there. I think we can come back to Brock Purdy. In the
Yeah.
I think we have to draft Brock Purdy
now. I think there's a reasonable chance we can have him as a depth quarterback.
No, we've got to take him. I think with the unfortunate, setting terribly sad news that happened with Haskins has left a spot for someone on top of the rookie.
Sterling Weatherford, did we talk about him? I feel like we...
Not really, no.
Did we not? No, I thought we had. I definitely came across him. Connor Hayward is still out there, people.
Yeah, but he's always having...
That's becoming too cliche now, isn't it?
Yeah, we can't do that.
Right, let's have a look at the running backs who are still available. At pick 208.
Oh, Brian Robinson's got to be the pick there, or is it Quandre White? I think we've got to take it. 6th round, Brian Robinson. That's the pick.
Yeah, that's just that. He's fallen deep there.
Yeah, that's.
He is a great. Even if you weren't in love with him, he played with Najee. He was his short yardage bruiser.
Yeah. I mean, let's just not jump into it, but I think that seems like the sensible man's pick there. So look at tight end, because tight ends can get interesting. I like some of these later tight ends, like Jake Ferguson or Cole Turner's a guy I like, but I think we could come back to him in the 7th round.
What's safety looking like?
Leon O'Neal. What about linebacker? Let's have a look at some special teams guys.
Oh, could team up with Leo Chanel's running mate, Jack Sanborn. Quite a technical player.
Where's no, okay. I've got to say, I think it's Brian Robinson here. I've never seen Brian Robinson fall this far, and I think he's the pick.
Yeah, I like him way over Ty Chandler.
Yeah.
And who else is there? Yeah, I'm on board with
that.
There's
no one else. I mean, Hassan Haskins or Zachondre White are the only other options at this point. And let's go Robinson, man. It makes sense.
Yep. It's done. Brian Robinson becomes the change of pace back for, or the short yardage back maybe for Najee. Matt Araiza goes to the Rams a little bit too late for my bet.
By the Rams.
Yep. I've bet that the Rams' first pick will be a kicker up on 500 to 1.
What's their first pick?
3rd round. Possible.
Okay.
So we got pick 225 and 241 in round 7. Dare Rosenthal's just gone, who's kind of a favourite of mine as like a 7th round developmental tackle, which is a bit of a shame. Brock Purdy's still out there.
And was Mike Sleeper as well.
Yeah.
Too early for let's come back to Brock.
Okay. Still. Josh Johnson. Anyone watch Josh Johnson, the wide receiver at Tulsa? He's been sitting around for a while.
Yeah. What's the tight end? Is Cole Turner still there?
Cole Turner.
I'm big on Cole Turner. If he's there, I'm saying that's my guy. Yeah, I'm saying Cole Turner. That receiving weapon that can't block. That perfect later rounds guy that it could have massive upside.
Was he the other guy that played similar to Charlie Kohler?
Yeah, he was the pass catching. He was Carson Strong's like safety blanket. Okay. He was great, man. He was like just making mad. He was like plays tight end like a wide receiver. He could be. I don't want to say Travis Kelce, but he is that receiving weapon at tight end. I think I think value at this point in the draft.
There was talk that he should even move to wide receiver, right? I think.
Yeah.
But he's 6'7", so you can't. Yeah, that's tough. I'm happy with it as a project and as a see how you get him on the field as a big slot or something as well.
Definitely.
The Nevada Wolfpack. That's a new one.
Yeah. Let's go, Cole Turner. Ketts, you in or out?
Happy with that. Although I think we're going to lose Purdy if we do this.
No, I don't think so.
About Bird.
I think we can come back.
Is there anyone else just before we click the button? Is there anyone else?
We've only got one more pick left after this.
Jerry O'Neilly. Someone liked him. Who liked him?
Yeah, we just took our running back though.
Who liked him though?
I cannot remember.
Mike Sleeper.
Ryan Stonehouse. Some big Ryan Stonehouse fans in. We won't take a corner this year. We did that last year.
Didn't work out so well. Jack Cohen.
Mike
Sleeper.
Let's wait and see.
Quarterback.
All right, I'm happy with Cole Turner. If that's
yes. Mike, can you get on board?
Mike?
No, Mike. Ketts, can you get on board?
Yeah, happy with that. Yep.
All right.
And he goes. Cole Turner, 7th round pick. And now we
skip forward to the Brock Purdy pick.
Humbly await Brock Purdy as wait and see if anyone takes him.
Oh, well. The whole world is down. We are the sole Brock Purdy survivalists.
Washington.
Don't you dare.
Oh, he survived.
Yes. Purdy. There he is. He's on the board.
Easy pick.
Suggested.
Brock Purdy, 7th round
pick. What value? Take it.
It's done.
The Brockinator.
The Brockinator.
He's on.
All right.
If you don't know what we're talking about, listen to the QB show or check out our YouTube channel where we've got our Brock Purdy analysis. Big time favourite around these parts.
You want to watch one video we ever did? It's the Brock Purdy analysis video.
Yeah. All right. Okay. I'm not.
Connor Hayward's one pick away from Mr. Irrelevant.
Not over the moon with this draft, I got to say.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think a lot to do with the first round pick and.
Yeah. Let's have a look.
So we end up with let's recap it. I'm with you or not.
A-.
Yeah. So we got Devontae Wyatt at pick 20. He's 17 on PFF's big board. Leo Chanel at pick 52 in round 2, the linebacker. Mine and Gav's Red Star linebacker. I think he's going to be dominant for us. Pick 84, round 3, Cameron Thomas, the edge, your Red Star edge.
Mm-hmm.
Round 4, pick 138, Kyle Phillips, the kind of big slot out of UCLA. Pick 208, round 6, Brian Robson Jr., Alabama. Come in as our backup running back. Maybe goodbye Benny Snell.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, have a competition, fight it out in training camp.
And then our 7th round picks, we go Cole Turner, the big tight end, and Brock Purdy, Red Star QB of the UK Steelers Podcast.
Yeah, soon to be of the UK Steelers Podcast, the next co-host.
Now, again, we passed on quarterback here. Well, apart from Purd. We passed on Pickett. We passed on Strong. We passed on Sam Howell in the 2nd round. So we passed on quarterback in 3 different spots here, which I think goes to show how, lack of consensus we have on the guys, right? I mean, I would have picked Carson Strong, but Ketts didn't want to. You wanted to pick Sam Howell, but I didn't want to. I would have picked Pickett. You didn't want to. So, you know what I mean? There's a lot of difficulty when it comes to that. And I think that's going to be true when it comes to the team's, war rooms. There's going to be guys that are just dead against it.
This feels like a draft that's going to improve the roster, but it's not going to make anyone excited, and it's not going to push anyone over the edge, I don't think. But it's a solid draft for the actual roster.
I would be pushed over the edge by picking Leo Chanel, but I
think you and me are in a small minority there.
But hopefully Wyatt comes in and is able to dominate on the line. I think he's got a lot of the traits to do it, and I might be a little bit down on that pick as it happened, but I could see it as being one that comes around and turns out good. Being well worth the top 20 pick.
This is one of them drafts that you look back at it and go, was it exciting? Well, you can only tell in 3 years.
Yeah. It feels like solid. It's full of solid players. Just where's the upside in this draft? Cole Turner is the first player with real. Maybe Chanel. Maybe I'm being rotten, but. It feels like Cole Turner's the first sort of real upside-y player, where the rest are kind of safe picks to a degree.
Oh, actually, I don't know if I agree with that, because you're looking at it from maybe Brock Purdy and Brian Robinson and Kyle Phillips aren't super upside, but you're talking about Cam Thomas, and I've heard other people talk about Cam Thomas as being a big upside guy. I think Leo Chanel has massive round 1 upside. That's why I'm in love with him. And Devontae Wyatt's a big upside guy, right? In terms of his traits and. I hear what you're saying, though. It's not the offense has struggled, and it's not an offensive draft. But I like the idea of just solidifying this defense as we look for identity on offense.
Okay, well let's tweet this out and see how much we get roasted. But this is our mock draft, so welcome in.
Yeah. People aren't going to love this, but
no.
suck it up, guys.
Yeah,
what would you have done? Tweet us, let us know.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. The board didn't go the way we wanted, but we're left holding the bag of potatoes when everyone else has got roses. But we
didn't do any trades. I do think the Steelers, as I said, are going to try and pull off a trade to get up for Malik Willis. I just feel like that. You listen to the Tomlin and Colbert interview today, and that, I don't know, man. They're talking like they talked about Najee last year.
Yeah, they're talking about trading up to 7 or whatever. Scary. Anyway. So I'd rather have the picks like this than trade up to 7 and have one player with upside.
Yeah, I would as well.
Same.
Right. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
That was more challenging. Next year we should go back to Draft Network because that was an easier draft.
Sorry, you just want Carl Hamilton to fall into your lap there.
Yeah, I want easy picks. I want to be choosing between 5 players I like and not 5 players I don't particularly want. But maybe that's just this draft class, man. That's just...
It does fall off. I really do feel like when you get to the 4th round, I have less guys this year than I have in previous years where I'm like, bang it in the table.
Right. All right, cool.
Thanks for joining us again on draft week. We've got a few more things to go, right? We got the rookie game. We'll drop that Wednesday, and then we'll do a mock draft, me and you, Gav, and then if you want to join Ketts, feel free.
Maybe do another video one.
Yeah.
It's another one of these 2-round mocks. Drafting for every team. Might be fun.
We'll split the teams up a little bit.
Yeah. Cool. Do some research on other teams. Not my strong point. Needs of the, I don't know. I'm going to pick a random team, but every team I picked, I know their needs. So there are lots of teams out there. I don't know what they're talking about. Let's do some research.
Thank you for sticking with us in draft week, and we'll see you soon.
Go Steelers.
Go Steelers.